Well, 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 look who's on the block now. Gino, you're giving me goosebumps, buddy.
Hello, good evening. It is Thursday, April 14th, 2022, and we just finished the Week 7 eviction in the Big Brother Canada 10 house, and episode 20. I'm Dave Mader, joined with co-host Jaemeel Robinson here on Super Mader Brothers Podcasting on this Thursday night as Moose gets evicted. It becomes our second member of the jury, Jaemeel. And, well, are you knocked out of the draft, or are you just...
I am.
You're done.
I'm done officially in all reality drafts currently.
wasn't your season here.
It's okay. Like as we're gonna see in this episode that we're gonna recap, the reasons why he was gone was because he was too good, which isn't necessarily like the worst thing in terms of picking an individual. Yes, I am a fan of Moose. He is with faults, but unfortunately the game progressed where he had no moves. He had no moves to play, and he was eliminated off the board.
Yeah, and he did try to do something. Like, they're like, damn, that Moose is elegant. Damn, that guy is good. We can't keep him. He's too smooth. If we don't get rid of him now, it's just gonna be too much. You can't let the Moose hang around. I don't know what moose is in French. If it does translate to something else.
Well, we know what happened. You know what? If they had like episode titles that they reveal after the fact of the episode, this episode would be called Pamplemousse.
Pamplemousse?
Yes.
That's a much better title than I could have thought of. Okay.
It just came to me when you said French, and I'm like, oh yeah,
Pamplemousse. I think we need that on a ticker.
When Jeff comes in, he's gonna like, oh, that's clever.
Yeah, here we go. Let's put it on. Yeah. So Moose goes out here. Jaemeel, when we talked on Monday, because we skipped Wednesday because we had a 2-hour episode of Survivor season 42 last night to cover, and there was a merge episode. There was a lot going on. We're like, we're just going to talk about it in the spoiler section. We're going to talk about this veto. We knew that Helena then was going to be the holder of the veto. And that she probably wasn't going to use it, mostly because Marty would have been probably the renom, and that doesn't serve her game, and she would rather see the Moose here or Summer for that matter go out. But then this secret veto, I don't think we talked about this, right? This was not. I didn't know about this back then. Back on Monday, feels like a long time ago. And it was Jacey-Lynne who couldn't even tell Gino about it, right?
Yeah,
would be immediately evicted or something like that if she told anyone about it.
That's what they say.
Yeah, so she doesn't use it either. There's 2 vetoes in play. Neither gets used, and Marty still stays safe. Why do you think Jacey-Lynne did not use this veto?
I don't know. I honestly, even the reasons given on the episode were like vague, not really conclusive. It to the television viewers, it makes her look like a worse player than she currently is, and it's just confusing. And then Gino's like nonchalant about, well, my plan didn't work out, so meh. I'm glad. We basically just skipped a week, I felt, in terms of the story that is ongoing between Gino, Marty, Kevin, etc.
Right, like I think, we lose Moose here, Pamplemousse, and he's becomes the second. He's like, he's joining Herman and jury, and it's like Herman.
It's
Herman?
fine. Herman played like a Herman.
He played like a Herman. He was, whatever. Like Moose is gone. I think we're better off.
He didn't do anything.
Ways.
Good as a comp beast, quote unquote, by winning 2 things doesn't really make you a comp beast.
Right.
And how smooth he was in terms of conversations. If you don't hold any power, any actual social power, then you weren't really playing the game. Like, where did he didn't have any control. He didn't like seem to have any urgency in making alliances and stuff. It seemed like he was too busy chilling, relying on his relationship with Kyle, relying on his relationship with Herman, and this is where it got him. So, you know what? You're absolutely right. It's better off we don't have him. He wasn't a player in this game.
But sure, but on the other hand, I think that Summer is the better choice to get out from most of these people's games, because like, what's Moose really going to do in this game? Like, I guess this is as good of a time as any to get rid of him, because they were like, well, we see you as a potential winner, Moose. And I think he could have like stumbled into a win, somehow, where he's like up against somebody who's hated by the jury. Who knows, right? It could happen, but like on the other hand, he wouldn't win like without some special sense of circumstances either. I think he's sort of like he would be have a hard case to make in a lot of ways, and I don't know if
I think he can, because of the way that he's able to communicate and talk. People didn't trust themselves. They didn't trust themselves that they wouldn't look at the bigger picture, and they would keep him unreasonably, and he would find his footing in the game.
Or then he would make a great speech, right? Like at the end,
something like that. And it's like Gino or Jacey-Lynne would be like, "Oh yeah, you're right." Or Marty, like loose cannon Marty might go, that makes absolute sense, and he does something stupid for like a lot of the other people's games. So you might as well take that piece off the board, especially when it's been for the most part inconsequential. Whereas Summer is if you ever watched Twilight, and yeah,
I've seen Twilight,
right? Anna Kendrick's character is like like a school antagonist to Bella Swan.
Is she a vampire?
No, she isn't a vampire.
No, she's a human. Okay.
She's just a normal human who just gets on Bella Swan's case. And so she's there. She's prominent throughout the first movie at the very least, and a couple others. But she doesn't, she's just there. She's just there. She has screen time, and she's not important to what's actually happening. The adults are speaking. Someone will go away, keep like ranting and talking to Arissa while people are actually playing the game and trying to win Big Brother. So, Summer is like bombastic, but it is just a loud clap and then silence in terms of her actual impact in the end game of this game. So you might as well keep her.
She's just a piece. But she was like especially the chat she had with Jacey-Lynne here tonight, where it was just like, she's like, well, I'm not going to promise you anything, and I'm there's a chance we might work together in the future. I couldn't help but think of Spicy V.
This pitch sucks.
Yeah. This is a terrible pitch, Summer. I was just like, what are you doing? What is this game, right? Because I don't always know where Summer's really coming from. I don't know if she knows, but
she's thinking about clever things to say to Arissa. That's what she's doing. When
she likes to charm people, right? That's kind of like what Summer's about. But I think the boredom of living with the same people for so long, it's like, can you just be the charmer? And I think here's my theory about Jacey-Lynne and why she doesn't use this veto, or the second secret veto. Because she can't talk to Gino about it and she can't like strategize. I think it's more risky to her to use it and hope Gino is able to sort of roll with it in the moment than to not do anything at all, because that's what's expected.
I still think that's a terrible decision.
It's a terrible decision. I just think that's the only reason I can think why Jacey-Lynne does what she does.
If the plan was to get out Marty earlier, then, and nothing has changed in terms of that mindset outside of just conversations that Helena won't do it, just do it.
Right. Or the other alternative is that Jacey-Lynne was hoping that Summer would go here over Moose. Obviously that's not what happens. Jacey-Lynne vote. It's a majority vote. It's a unanimous vote tonight. But like we saw that there was the love triangle. Even Jacey-Lynne admits to in the diary room to this love triangle between Gino, Summer, and her. And like this hasn't really been done on the show so far. We're 7 weeks in here.
They just put this in. But
I talked about this.
But I talked about this. I think from last week Wednesday, I talked about it
I
about
feel like, yeah,
the
2
whole
weeks maybe.
stretching thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you've been talking about this for at least a week, maybe 2. I think that the whole Summer and Summer flirts with Gino thing, which Jacey-Lynne was having none of. She was getting pissed off at Gino. She's like, "Don't you kiss me? Don't you tell me what to do? Get out of here." And Gino's like, "Listen, I'm not doing nothing. I'm being nice or whatever." She's like, "Well, you can put a stop to it, Gino. Don't you be messing around with Summer. She's not having it."
I knew Moose was going home because they took this old archival footage and slotted it in there just so that we had the thought that maybe Jacey-Lynne will get her way. No, Moose was gone. Moose was so gone.
Yeah, I thought that the episode tonight was really drawn out along a lot of nothing about, who will they evict? Who does, Betty's talking to Summer. And I kind of liked that segment because, it was all about how, Summer played terrible last week. It was like, well, I don't know where my head's at. I'm not promising you anything. Much like her pitch to Jacey-Lynne tonight, right?
True.
This pitch sucks.
Yeah.
Just gonna keep hitting
hitting that, and Betty tonight, just Betty wanting to sort of play fun with it and say, hey, when you wouldn't vote to keep me, it was eye-opening. I don't know where I'm at. And they kind of, and she's like, I don't want to hug. I kind of liked that whole the
back and forth,
the role reversal, the reenactment where they were the different version of each other there. I thought that was kind of fun, but that was maybe my high point. There was some other kind of interesting little things. I think that Summer and Helena at the pool table, just more about how that was intercutting with the diary room, where Summer was explaining that she feels betrayed by Helena for last week's vote, and that she's definitely not working with her, and it's kind of she'll find a way to get back at Helena given the chance, right? But she's not gonna show those cards to her in the pool game.
But isn't that kind of ridiculous in terms of what loyalty is Summer shown to Helena as well? Not really any.
Not really any. Yeah, I agree. I think that Summer's game is messy. So that makes it a little easier to keep her here tonight and not send her out into jury, right?
It seems since Tanisha has been gone, Summer's been a non-factor, right? And
way less effective.
So I understand why keeping her, because 1, she's not winning comms. 2, no one trusts her or willing to think of her as a long-term ally at all. So she's the perfect person to put up next week.
Yeah, I guess so. Now that she's been, she clearly, I don't think she liked this week too much. I know, not that you're ever supposed to enjoy being on the block, but I think for Summer this was a rough one in some ways. But she kind of campaigned.
Campaign.
Yeah, I think just for Gino ultimately gets out Moose here. Okay, and so what does that mean for Gino's game? Does this make him?
He gets rid of another ally. Good job, Gino.
But also a threat.
But him, Moose, and Kyle were all on the same team 3 weeks ago.
Kyle, yeah, remember Kyle?
Remember Kyle?
He also got out Kyle. Yeah,
I know.
So yeah, he's repeating a history here. But Marty was kind of what he wanted to do, but not really. But in terms of how this changes the sides of the house and where we go from here, I guess is it ultimately depends who gets the power here next.
Yep.
We saw this HOH competition kicks off. It's an endurance comp, kind of a modification of a wall comp where you got to stay in this little enclosure slide, and there's 2 little pegs to hold on to, and you can kind of put yourself sideways, and everybody had the same outfit and sneakers.
Yep.
On, so there'd be no advantages for anybody. Nobody would have clothing advantages, and they all
well, there are advantages for everyone because you have taller people versus shorter people. Mm-hmm. Taller people can extend themselves and kind of take up more grippy space on the sides, whereas a smaller person doesn't have that ability. Obviously a smaller person has less weight to hold up, so that can also play a factor. I just don't think Summer's gonna win.
I don't think Kevin's gonna win. I don't
no.
know what's happening yet, but like in terms of just how this comp started tonight, and just seeing the like how they looked like leave it out there, and then they were pouring the cold water on them pretty quickly, and because initially I was like, oh okay, Betty's looking all right, and like some players here could be doing well, and then Kevin was just like, oh my god, I barely holding on, maybe he'll settle in. Gino can't be in this one, so I think and there's no Moose in this comp either.
I don't think Gino would have done well as well. He was a little top heavy in terms of his. I think he would have a tough time with it. This is more of if you are taller and lighter, right? I think you have a better advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Summer could okay. I'm walking back what I said about Summer. Summer is athletic, taller than Betty, right? More athletic than Betty. Jace is more bottom heavy, so strengthen her legs because she's a figure skater. So she might be able to, hold herself and support her arms more by using her legs.
I'm saying he thinks Jacey-Lynne will target Summer if she wins HOH. I think you're right.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Heartbeat.
Yeah, and Gino's not going to get in the way of that.
He's like, fine.
Yeah, I put her up too. Yeah, it's good for me.
Yeah, Kevin's done for. You know what? Honestly, I kind of feel like Kevin should just drop because you don't want to hurt yourself.
Yeah, there's if you don't really think you're gonna get out of there, but maybe you hold on long enough to see if they offer you an incentive to get out there.
True.
Or if you just can't handle it, then sure, drop out. But like, I don't think Kevin needs
so uncomfortable though.
Yeah, he looked uncomfortable. But I think this may also be like just a test of how well you can deal with the cold. That's good, Sam. He finds Jacey-Lynne attractive. Well, the Northern Ontario girls.
That's what Sam said.
Yeah, he's like, I find JL attractive. Well, she's not hard on the ice, for sure. But Jaemeel, did Dave tell you the news? What news? That he's never been to Applebee's. That was what came up in the Star Trek Picard podcast.
Oh my gosh, Sam!
But Newfoundland doesn't have any Applebee's.
You're not missing anything at all.
Come on, you got the whiskey bacon burger.
Yes. You're missing the whiskey bacon.
You are
burger.
not missing anything. We'll
start with some appetizers. No. Crunchy onions with honey barbecue sauce. Double crunch bone-in wings, crispy on the outside, tender on the inside.
Wings.
Oh my god, Dave, you're not missing anything. Trust me.
Oh, the news was that Sam has got his red stripe in Taekwondo.
Oh, congratulations, Sam!
If you mess with him, he's gonna kick you with his toe, and he's 2 levels away from black belt.
Well, way to go, Sam! That is a great achievement. All right, congratulations. That's a lot of hard work and discipline. Kudos to you. I tip my hat, my invisible hat.
Sam would love to try some, I guess, Sonic and Popeyes. Maybe not as readily available in Newfoundland.
So Popeyes,
or Chick-fil-A, even he says.
Yeah,
you want to break? Do you want to tell him about the Sonic, Popeyes, and Chick-fil-A of things?
Chick-fil-A, no, thank you. I'm good. Never having and never will participate in that restaurant. Sonic's, I've had it at its pop-up when it was in Toronto, and it was good. It was good. Popeyes is something that we're kind of used to because we have a lot of locations here in Southern Ontario. So I'm going to get to that comment in a second. So Popeyes is Popeyes. I like it on occasion, but I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm more of a Mary Brown's, which I think you should have in Newfoundland and be proud of, Mary Brown's roots.
I'm more of a
church?
KFC guy.
A KFC guy? I'm not a fan of the Dirty Bird. No fan of the Dirty Bird. If you're talking burgers, though, Sam, you got to go to Shake Shack. Okay,
Shake Shack is good. The spicy burger at Shake Shack is amazing.
Yeah, Shake Shack. Whew, it is fantastic. And you know what? I would say go to any burger place, right? Any chicken shop and try it out at least, at least once. Except me, no Chick-fil-A, no. But every other place, try it out, see what's good for you, because what's good for you might not be good for me, and vice versa. So,
Yeah, he's saying they got Mary Browns in Newfoundland. They're familiar.
right on. As for you being my bodyguard, I don't know. I'm kind of I cheat, so I cheat, so I'm the person with the pocket sand. I'll bite. I'll do whatever it needs to. A fight is not supposed to be clean, right? If you're in an actual real fight,
Throw sand.
You got pocket sand. You got to do pocket sand.
Pocket
You
sand.
do whatever you need to do to get out of the situation. I don't necessarily fight, but yes, Big Marys are so good. And Mary friends, if you've never had Mary Brown,
started into a chicken podcast.
Sam, you're just on fire tonight. Sam says, but the chicken skin is deadly. I should narrate what you're saying. We're just responding. The audio viewers are like, what are they talking about? We're talking about chicken sandwiches. Sam is from the east coast of Canada, and he was talking about how he's never had Sonic's or Popeyes and Chick-fil-A, and you heard what I said. And Sam also is he's a red stripe or two double red stripe.
One red stripe, I believe.
One red stripe. And he is, in Taekwondo, and he is 2 steps away from being a black belt. And he's offered to be my bodyguard. So everyone's all caught up in what's going on right here.
No, it's good. It's good. Yeah. That was a great recap, I suppose.
Yeah.
But
it's hard to recap this episode. Not much happened really in terms of one red. Any red stripe.
Isn't that like a beer? Isn't red stripe a beer?
Red stripe is a Jamaican
a Jamaican beer, right?
Yeah, alcohol beer. What belt did I end up with? I think I only have a white belt, which I believe is a beginner belt. I only did a summer martial arts. I still know my kata like off by heart, but it wasn't for me. It wasn't for
Eamon
me.
Mater, he's got a couple belts.
Oh,
I think he got up to green or purple or something.
Yeah,
like that.
I just decided to rely on Mexican judo, so that's.
I'm a no belt. I'm a
no belt.
No belts. Not even the outfit.
Well, I will say that I attempted a drop kick once in an actual fight.
A drop kick, like a wrestling drop kick.
A wrestling drop kick.
You thought you were like the Rockers, just like standing drop kick, just like boom.
Hey, it hit the person, so your mileage may vary.
There you go. Well, speaking of like all the food and the Big Marys and everything else, and he's saying, Jaemeel, you make a good wrestler. What about Muskoka Spirits?
Muskoka Spirits. Have you ever had Muskoka Spirits?
I think I have. I think I've had the Muskoka Spirits before. Like they're just like seltzer waters. And like there's a couple different flavors. There's a flavor I can never get, which is that blackberry and peach flavor. I always wanted to try it, but they never have it.
I'll try to keep a mental note of it. Right.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can find it before June.
Before Brantford.
Yeah.
That would be. I would. They got it tonight on the show. I'm back to Big Brother Canada. They got like this little outdoor party at the start of spring. It was just basically a paid sponsorship segment for Muskoka Spirits, and like Josh was the one who found it. Quite the reaction. It also ended the have-nots. I think it wasn't even just for the party. They were have-nots forever the rest of the week, right? After that,
I think for the rest of the week,
yeah. So whatever. Like they kind of just filled this episode up with a lot of like whatever.
Yeah, they didn't really have that much. They could only do with what is readily available, and I think that they were hoping that there were going to be more drama. That's why they introduced a second veto, and nothing happened at all.
They're like, they try to throw this twist in, they try to mix it up, and it does nothing. It's just like ends up being like sort of okay, and like now we have to move. It's like watching a game of chess in slow motion. It's just like very sort of methodical.
But you know what? We can't complain because we've had how many weeks of just pure chaos, right, for the last couple of weeks. I like, you know what?
It was a
Maybe
bit
the
more of a
house-
routine week. Yeah.
Maybe the house just wanted to exhale a little bit. You know, we're
Now
gonna
that they made
start-
jury, take
Yeah.
their time. Now that they're in the jury phase a little bit.
Yeah, and you got to
Right,
be a little bit more careful in terms of who you get out.
And how you send them out.
Yeah, like Moose, like Sunshine was shot up that man's butt like crazy. You're too good, Moose. You're so
Yeah, you're
eloquent.
so eloquent. Please
You could
vote
win
for
the
me.
game.
Please vote for me at the end, Moose. It could have been you, but we had to get you out. You were so threatening.
They didn't even bother doing the videos. They're like, with an episode where they're so filled with time, so like there was a lack of like content. They're like, we're never going to show the videos. It's just high praise.
They showed all of Herman's in the last eviction.
Yeah, because there was a little spice in it, you know.
Right. So there was nothing entertaining to show in the like. I think that to get like the goodbye message or so, there has to be something like to them. If they're all just like, we love you, Moose, and please vote for me in the end, which is what I imagine they all were. Yeah, it's got to be that. The only one that would have been anything is maybe Summer, and it would just be basically like it was either you or me, and it's got to be you. Sorry to see you go. Whatever.
Did the person
like,
on the block also do a video too?
I think usually, like at least in Herman's case, it was. Because who was Herman with at the end there?
It was Moose.
It was Moose, and Moose gave like the final goodbye. He's like, "Sorry, man, I'm gonna miss you so much.
If I'm not here, that means you're gone, man, and it hurts my heart.
If you're gone, then I'm gone, and you know it's all right, man." And you know they're just like, Moose is the most elegant person ever. I'm like, is he really? Like, is he? Does he have?
I think he knows there's a time and place for everything, and that's like a bite-sized type of, you know, fluff. And when you're sitting across from someone in a bedroom, right, and it's like it's time to code switch into what Elamoose, eloquent
Elamoose,
Elamoose,
Elamoose.
Yeah.
Pamplemousse, Elamoose. I liked when Marty came. He's like, I vote for Moose. That's what
was everyone in a hurry? Because it seemed like, especially the last like couple of people, they were like, Josh was like, before even saying hi, was like, I vote. Oh, hi, Arissa. Yeah, I vote for Moose. Runs.
Yeah, like they've all been running in and out of that, like the diary room between votes. That it's always like very frantic. Like I feel like maybe it's got to be production saying like, "Hey, you got to like go quick here. We don't want it just drawn out." And then maybe they take almost it's like Kevin, I think ran in there.
Yes. If it eliminates all the shout outs, I'm perfectly fine with that. I don't need shout outs.
Yeah, the shout outs. Yeah, the shout outs I don't need either. Like if you're gonna like you can do them anytime you want. Why is it a big deal if you do them on the live show? I don't really get that part. You know.
Because the people that they're shouting out don't actually watch the live feeds.
Oh.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
Well, you can do it in your speech. Do it in
hey,
your
Mom.
speech.
Oh, even in the speeches too. All right.
But I think it's better than in the diary room.
I don't want to hear about God. I don't want to hear about your family. I want to hear about why you should stay or why the other person should go. That's what I want to hear.
First and foremost, I just want to thank God who made, you know, like someone would say, I'm a woman of faith and I love all of God's creations, including Gino. And
I want someone to do a paid sponsorship. Like all praise to Muskoka Spirits. It's such a delicious 25% alcohol.
To my pantheon of gods, the Muskoka Spirits.
Muskoka Spirit. You know. There's a multitude of flavors that you can get. Go to muskokaspirits.ca for all your tasty beverage desires.
Blackberry and peach.
You go to Jeff Probst mode. It's like the whiskey burger.
And the specialty drink is the Shark Bowl.
Oh, baby!
Oh, baby!
I want the other cast members to start. Yummy. Muskoka Spirits.
Yeah, I'm a Muskoka kind of guy.
I'm a burger kind of guy.
Muskoka kind of guy.
Was it a junior chicken? Junior chicken for a junior chicken girl?
Oh man, like did I put that on the?
You did have it on the board. You did have it on the board.
Oh yeah.
Junior bacon cheeseburger for a junior kind of gal.
Woo!
Wendy's, you're like okay. Everyone, I have yet to see someone not pick a strawberry lemonade large strawberry lemonade when they go to Wendy's. Every single person is taking it, folks. That's the best thing that Wendy's has in terms of drink wise. It is top tier in my opinion. I love
Do they
it.
have a diet version, or is it only the
No, I like. You know what? They don't, but they should.
I would
They
like,
should.
I would very much like that if they had that.
Wendy's.
Wendy's.
Canada.
You heard it here first. Take
on.
Dave to Wendy's.
Yeah.
You know, and I will get your diet version of your strawberry lemonade if that's an option. Unless it's made with real juice, then I guess you can't do it. But you know, I don't
think so.
Yeah. Like, okay, so I feel like we talked about everything. Do we have spoilers? Like,
there's nothing. The feed. There's no feed. Like I have it there on the side. It's just nothing. It's
nothing.
Where is it?
Okay, well, surely there's something we haven't hit on in the episode.
Nothing. I don't like. We have a triple eviction that's coming up. Not next week. I think it's the week after, or is it next week?
The triple eviction I've never loved is a format. I think like just do a double.
Did you like the one they did last year?
I think I liked it better, as I recall.
Where they bring everyone, where they bring the voted out individual, the both voted out individuals into the HOH room, and then they bring them back for a competition. And
that like there was like the fake double last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I want them to redo that. You know, because next week is week 8. So
is it 3 more weeks? It's 3 more weeks. I hope they do it next.
It says somebody's evicted on day 48 and on day 55. Today was what day? Who got Moose? Today was day 48. Okay, so Moose went out today. So there's next week, and then there's week 9. That's got to be the triple. Man.
It has to be the triple because I don't want the week before to be a triple eviction. The week before finale night. That's just no. This is not Celebrity Big Brother. There's no need to do something wacky like that.
Let's just have a quick look at our draft here. So Jaemeel, you lost Moose tonight, so I gotta put that on the strike through. 8th evicted here, day 48, second juror. You also had Kyle, who was evicted 21 days earlier. Remember the Savage 7? Herman, Kyle, Moose, Gino, Josh, Summer, and Tynesha.
Yep.
Whoa.
See how well that's doing. The Bro Alliance.
The Bro Alliance, the French Connection. These are all the Man Dams. Tanisha, Helena, Betty, and Summer.
Yep. Once Tanisha was gone, it was over.
Single and Ready to Mingle with Stephanie, Jacey-Lynne, Gino, Kyle, and Herman.
Jeez.
That didn't happen. Honey Bunch. Josh, Gino, Summer, and Jacey-Lynne. They're all still in the game.
Yeah. I swear, if they act like, oh yeah, Honey Bunch is still a thing, it's like, you liars. You straight up liars.
And the siblings, Summer, Tanisha's gone, but Summer, Betty, and Jess. No, Jess is also gone, so that's not a thing. Remember the siblings? Only because Jess is in power, we're gonna bring up the siblings.
Yeah.
Amanda still has Kevin. I still have Gino.
Yep.
Jane's out. She lost Herman last week, and Stephanie some time ago. Jeff still with Marty and Jacey-Lynne, but I don't think either of those are good. Marty, maybe. Sean looking good with Josh, Betty, and Summer.
Outside of Josh, I don't think he has a chance.
Yeah, Betty and Summer long shots. And then can Helena win?
She could. Once again, just like we were giving Moose a chance, Helena can. She has a comp win. So she can. She's just as good as Jacey-Lynne.
Because you look like who are the bottom of our draft was Helena and Summer, who have done fairly well for themselves. Yeah. You know, Betty, like a lot of these bottom drafted people. Betty, Jacey-Lynne.
It's the same thing though that we always see. The information that we're provided at the beginning of the game is very limited, right? And as we see the game progress, that's when we really see where these people's personalities are. You know what their abilities are. Would I have picked Kyle if I knew that he was like a basket case and he switches his decisions every 5 seconds? Probably not.
Yeah,
right?
but you're not going to pick that up even from a video package. You're not going to really know
Very
that
true.
probably.
Very true.
Right.
Very
It's
true.
hard. It's hard. You just have you have to make like sort of guesses just based on the look of people and sort of who you think will gel with who and how that's going to shake out in the numbers. Like Marty, I didn't really read well because I didn't think he would get on with people as well as he did in the beginning, and then like he ended up being even more erratic than I could have ever imagined. So it was
Kevin, I absolutely misjudged. That's how it
Gino
goes.
too. Gino ended up being way less personality than I thought I was going to get from him.
Which I think has served him well, though, because if he had too much personality, I think he would have a bigger target on his back.
Right.
But
He
being
would
the
be
kind of
victim.
chill person. Same thing with Josh. Being so chill has done them well.
Right.
Right.
What is he? Oh, he's a marine biologist to them, right? I'm just a chill 28-year-old marine biologist from Vancouver. It's all good. Unless I see Muskoka spirits, and then I go, wah! Yeah. Yeah, like I think my ideal final two is Helena and Kevin.
Really? Okay. I would love that. I would love to see that.
I think that would be like a fun final two. I would kind of be curious to see how that would, and I would be happy to see either of them win. I think, I don't really want to see Marty win this game. I think like it would be sort of an injustice.
Here are the three people I don't want to win. I don't want Marty to win. I don't want Jacey-Lynne to win, and I don't want Betty to win. Oh, sorry, I don't want Summer to win.
Why not Summer?
Because I actually like people who play the game and not just seemingly give up and be inconsequential. I wouldn't have want Moose to win as well, because once again, just like Summer, Moose just felt inconsequential when we're seeing all these. There's no moves. What moves has she made since Tanisha has been gone?
Well, what has Moose done? Yeah, right. It's like,
yeah, he won competitions, and those competitions have either saved him or were like, just saved him because of the chain of safety.
There was the one power. He won, and he took himself off the block once.
That's it.
Yeah, like, and so, but like, whatever, like, who cares? Like, the fact that they wanted, I guess he's likable, is maybe you can call that a social threat, but
no, like Kevin, before even winning that veto, has done more, had a lot more that he's done in the house. Right. He's definitely gonna, in my opinion, he should win America's Favorite Player if he doesn't win the game.
It'd be interesting to see, like, who is America's favorite of this group right now. Who's the most popular? Do we know that from like?
Did we both just say America's favorite?
Canada's favorite. It's just force of habit.
Yeah, force.
Yeah, I know. I think I did too. Yeah. Well, North America's favorite. We'll go with that. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, I think that I don't want to see Betty win either. I agree. Like, it would just be sort of, unless it was maybe someone I didn't want to win against her.
If it was Summer versus Betty, I would want Betty to
win. If it was Summer versus Betty, I would want Betty to win.
You would. I would too.
Yeah. I don't want to see Josh win. I think he's too boring for a winner.
Yeah.
He's just like, like, we need our first. He's like the boring Dr. Will, is really what he is.
He's like, I guess I'm gonna have to play today.
I guess I'm like, I'm not coming for you, Marty. I'm totally on your side. Like, monotone and just dull,
Jace has done nothing.
Jacey-Lynne, I don't want to see win. I don't even want to see her in the final three. I want her gone sooner than later. Like, if you're gonna take out one of the showmans, take her out, please. She just weaponizes Gino in a different way. Like, if Gino didn't
think it's that, I literally think she's being dragged. I don't think that, like, at least last year, you can say that the tripod was, they all had like say.
You mean the sauce?
The sauce, sorry, the isosceles triangle.
Yeah, isosceles
aka
triangle.
The sauce.
Right, exactly. Where is that when I need it?
I see. I paused for it.
The isosceles triangle, aka the sauce, has been on fire in competitions lately.
It felt like more of a partnership, right? In terms of discussing what is going to be done. So as much as I didn't like the three of them, at least I can say at all three of them that they had a hand to play in terms of what happened. I don't feel the same thing about Jace. Jace just feels like she's there.
Yeah,
she's just there.
She's not like in this whole like secret veto, and like even when she told Gino about it tonight in the ice cream in their first date, which was just lame. I was like, oh, this is boring. Like, you guys have been in this house for 7 weeks and you're going on your first date, and it's just eating ice cream up on the couch. Like, it's like, I was like, what are you talking about? Like, she's like, well, I'm gonna tell you something you don't know. The thing he told her that that she wouldn't know is, I'm a lover boy. She's like, yeah, you don't think I know that? You don't think I know you're a lover boy?
So lame.
Steven.
So lame.
It was just lame. It was just like, whatever. Yeah. And so I like, if you put up the showmans, but of course, like, if you had the choice to vote out Gino or Jacey-Lynne, you would probably want to vote Gino at first.
Yeah. But
like,
Gino will take himself off the block, and then Jacey-Lynne is dead meat.
And then Gino playing this game without her is actually something I would like to see. But I think by the time if she does go out, then I don't know how much game he'll have left to play by the time that happens, right? And it might be like sort of like, well, Gino kind of just made out with her
up all over him like crazy. It would just so frustrate Jace. Jace would be so angry. She'd be like, I'm in here. I'm in the jury house, and Gino isn't here, and Summer's there with him. She's getting his hooks into him.
He used his big, beautiful brain, and he did what he needed to do.
That's right.
Oh my gosh.
It's the best day in the BBCAN house, quite frankly.
Summer.
Oh, Lord Summer.
What is that voice she does? I'm still trying to figure out, like, what is the when she has her little, like, she wants to do things for, like you said, for Arissa. Like, hey Arissa, I like,
save me, Arissa. I'm like, oh my god. Arissa's
hello,
like, it's not fun.
Arissa.
Arissa goes, it's not funny. Okay, stop.
Yeah, stop. Just stop, Summer. It's spring, not summer.
She's gonna pepper spray her when she meets her. Crazy stalker, stop
Get
it.
out of here.
Oh
In
my
winter. Yeah. Like, okay. No, still nothing on the feeds?
This
Just checking.
Nothing. They're not gonna show anything, I think, tonight.
Yeah. I hope Marty doesn't win this.
Yeah.
I don't want to see him in power again. Or do I? Like, is that maybe the best thing I could ask for?
Marty
I don't know.
would put up Summer and
He put up Summer and probably Betty.
Summer and Josh, maybe.
Summer and Josh. Yeah, Summer and Josh, like either one of those three. Summer, Josh, or Betty.
Yeah. Also boring though.
Also boring. Like,
yeah.
It's just kind of
let's
like,
get some spice into this.
It was so, yeah. That's why, like, unless Marty just has a meltdown, at least if it's like he's thinking about putting Gino up, or he doesn't, but he tells, like, I think great. Like,
he's like, you got to put Gino out. He's like, I can't. My mind does not compute.
No,
he
would put up Gino and then pour his heart out in apology to Gino. I'm so sorry, I put you up.
I betrayed you. He's like Alfred in The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, he just be like, I betrayed you, Mr. Wayne. He had a jewel the size of a tangerine. Anyway, that's okay. Like, without knowing who the next HOH is, it's hard to really speculate. It could go so many different ways. But I guess,
what can we do?
What can we do? All right. Well, we're gonna wrap up for tonight. Thanks for being with me tonight, Jaemeel, to talk about this. I don't think Jeff was. We were maybe good to see if he was gonna be able to join us after his curling game. It doesn't seem like he made it back. It's a windy night up there. But we'll be back Monday to talk about the kicking off of Week 8. This new HOH. Who does win this competition? Sam wants you to know, if we ever go to Newfoundland, you got to try chesses.
I will. I will put it on. I will make a note of it and put it out for it. Thank you, Sam. I appreciate it.
What else? Also on Super Mario Brothers podcasting, we love to talk about Survivor, as mentioned at the top of the episode. Survivor season 42 in full gear right now. If you didn't know, they went to Applebee's last night. It was a pretty big moment for Marianne. She was always wanted to go to get brownies.
For dessert,
Dessert? Hell yeah, dessert.
the Applebee's brownie.
Yeah. I love brownies. Oh my god.
Yeah. So we were talking about that last night. It was merged. There's a lot of strategy going on. If you like those things, we're breaking all that down every Wednesday as well. We'd like to talk about Marvel here on the network. We'll be talking about Moon Knight. We're gonna wait till all 6 episodes drop, and then we're gonna talk about that whole story. Check that out. Also, Doctor Strange coming up in around May 6th or 7th, I guess, is when we're all seeing it, and we'll be talking about it around that time. Additionally, what else? Ozark is going to be wrapping up in April, and Jeff and I are going to be talking about that. To talk about the finale. Jaemeel, you've never seen it, right?
Never. I've only seen the pilot.
The pilot. It's a pretty good show. I'm kind of curious to see how that story ends. As well. What else? I would love to talk Severance, if Jeff ever gets around to watching it, especially. And because I think he's going to enjoy it. And additionally, check out our other shows. We have Live Long and Podcast, where we talk about Star Trek all the time. Monday nights, Star Trek Enterprise with Jodie Simpson. Tuesday nights, Star Trek Deep Space Nine with Jeff Mader and Jaemeel Robinson and myself and many others. On Thursdays, like tonight, we were talking about the newest episode, Star Trek Picard. We were talking about the
episode Monsters.
Yeah, the 7th episode of season 2. We talked about that tonight with Adam Woodward and Jodie Simpson, breaking it down, looking at the screenshots, figuring out what the hell just happened. Who knows? And if you want to hear about that, plus Star Trek Radio Theater is a kind of a production we do periodically here on Live Long and Podcast, where we do the script reads. Most recently, we did Darmok with Adam Woodward playing Captain Dathan. We had my cousin and yours, Davin Skellhorn from Locutors of Trek. He was playing Picard in that one. We had Discovery's own Michael Chan. It was a great cast, along with Jessica Chan, Maud Tyrell, Kevin Millard, Ashley Millard, Jane Mader. I'm used to her credit card, where it still says Hines. Anyway, so check out that. You want to hear Darmok and Gelada Tanagra, as well as Trivial Debates, a monthly show. We argue about movies, TV, sports, and more. We are still looking for a third contestant for that show. My son, Eamon Mader, is set to host. And we are going to have Chris Seymour and Matt George in the mix, arguing about movies, TV, sports, and more. It's going to be a hell of a show. Plus, check out our friends podcast. We got Discovery owns Michael Chan along with Alex Blackburn. They do a horror themed podcast called the Hellbound Podcast every Wednesday. They were just talking about their favorite horror movies. They talk about different horror movies, TV shows, and they do some skits and different things. It's a great show. Check it out. Plus, my son Eamon, under his alias Sam Jerka, they do a same thing called Let's Talk About Fighting Games, an audio podcast where they talk about fighting games like King of Fighters and Baiku and Mega Man.
Mega Man Fighters and
Mega Man
Dragon Ball Z Fighters
and Dragon Ball and all those things.
Calibur, yes.
Yeah, Soul Calibur. I like me some Soul Calibur. Check out that one. Plus, also, Davin Skellhorn, my cousin and yours. He's got Locutors of Trek, his Star Trek themed channel. They're going to be doing a trivia segment on Star Trek in the near future, and his X-Men podcast, X-Rated, which he does with Andre, going through each episode of X-Men the animated series and rating them.
And speaking of Andre, Andre is actually also a pro wrestler.
That's right. Yeah, him and is he like an active pro wrestler?
Yeah, I think he just went back. He's now competing again. So
Sam thinks you should be a wrestler. So maybe you should have a match with Andre.
He would trounce me. And that's putting it lightly.
It's okay. It's all worked out in the beginning.
I respect the fine art, the sport of kings that professional wrestling is. I totally fine being just an observer, a fan, watching from the audience. I love pro wrestling. Always have, always will.
I went to a wrestling school once in high school with Matt George, actually, and we were like, oh, this seems intimidating. Maybe we should get out of here.
You could have been a pro wrestler.
I was they also wanted money, and I was like, I don't know if I want to pay.
You got to pay your dues, man.
Yeah, I was too poor. I was too young and had no money. I was working Burlington Post in those days.
You should have committed. You should have said, I will put up the ring. I will take down the ring, to pay for my schoolage.
Yeah, and my mom really didn't want me to do it. She was afraid of, me ended up like, as you would, like, like a draws or something like that. Like there have been some pretty bad injuries in wrestling. But
yeah, pro wrestling is not for the faint of heart.
Not for the long-lived, usually.
Especially if you're in the indie scene where there's a lot expected. You're doing a lot for very little money.
Yeah. So like I have respect for wrestling and all that, but like I don't know if it would be the life for me. But anyway, so on that note, we are gonna head out of here. We will be back Monday, of course, as mentioned, and we hope you have a great Easter weekend this weekend. Happy Good Friday or solid Good Friday. I don't know how to quantify it. And until then, remember, everyone or somebody is always walking.
And remember,